Pretty casual, welcome. Hope you had a nice day. Let's continue with some nice Guild Wars 2 gameplay. Welcome, Courier. Welcome, welcome. So, as promised, I will do some guild missions today. I hope you want to join, because some of them require at least a few amount of people, otherwise we will not be able to complete them in time. So let's see what we get. Hopefully we can finish them. I don't know actually with the stream schedule. I set the screen, my Twitch stream schedule is exactly when I start to stream. I think on Tuesday I started around 7:30 my time, which is the schedule. Today I'm a little bit late just because I wanted to set up the guild missions first. And then on Wednesday I start at 8 my time. And that's exactly what the Twitch schedule is. So I'm not sure what the problem there is, why it's not showing that correctly or stuff. But I mean, I guess if you see that I'm online, then you can join. So it should not be a big deal this year, I hope at least. So let's first check out. We have Fractal Rush as far as I know. Yes, Fractal Rush, exactly. So we get some nice achievements. Sadly, the Fractal Rush is not as good as the World vs. World Rush, not even close. So you just do some fractals, and when you complete them, you get a little bit more fractal relics. Yeah, it's nice if you need them, but there is no big reward other than this Ascended accessory. The accessory itself is actually not that useful. The interesting part here is actually the Agony Infusion, the +10 one, because that's if you sell it, it's around, I think, 20 gold or something. No, it's actually not that high. Okay, so it's 11, maybe 10 gold. So still 10 gold for doing something that you might anyway do. That's quite nice. If you wait a bit with selling, then it might go higher again, just because a lot of people now get it. And then you can of course wait and until the supply goes down again. Of course, to get this out, you have to use either the upgrade extractor, but you probably don't have that, or you can use of course some kind of tool that you get from the Mistlock Sanctuary. So the +10 is quite nice, but other than that, that's the sad part. The Fractal Rush bonus event is actually not giving you too much. Back in the old days, let's say maybe 3 years ago, the Fractal Rush event was one of the best ones, because you get unlimited supply of those boxes that you can get, similar boxes that you can get from the Festival of the Four Winds. And those boxes actually gave you, for example, the chance of getting a Chuck Infusion or something like that. And you could unlimited farm fractals because all of them gave you those boxes, and if you stacked up on those boxes, there would be some amount of chance that you would actually get the infusions out of there, which is really, really crazy. But nowadays Fractal Rush is just a little bit more fractal relics, and let's say if you get the accessory and then the infusion out of it, 10 gold, but that's not so crazy. But better than nothing, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit late on purpose, so to say. Yeah, I just wanted to give people the time to, let's say, be ready when we start the guild mission. I'm not sure how many people are actually interested in guild missions. We need it for leveling up our guild. I can show it quickly. So if we want to level up our guild, we need to get more of those so-called favor. And you only get favor by doing the guild missions. And it depends how challenging they are, how much favor you get. And I would say they are, especially the PvE ones, are very doable, even alone. But I want to give you the chance to get some guild recommendations as well. So if you want to get those, you can get it in any other way. So if you want to get those, you of course just join. Other than that, I want to level up, for example, the, how is it called, the synthesizers here. I already have 4 of those, and I want to increase them so that you can get more loot out of them. And of course, I want to also give you reduced waypoint costs. You can also get that from the guild. And I want to give you the option here, if you don't know, you can speak to this guy, Nathan. And you don't have to pay anything, just go here, speak with them, and you can use, for example, the guild reward track bonus, and you can swap that at any time. So now I have it, 7%. I can swap to the experience gain just by clicking it, and you just instantly activate it. You have to do that every time for a new character, but it will stay unlimited time, so it's really nice. And when I level up the guild, we get up to 10% and we get, I think, around 8 to 9 of those different boosts. I think the best ones are, of course, the reward track boosts, or you can also get world versus world experience boost. But if you're playing a lot of PvE, of course, the XP gain can also be very helpful because you get spirit just way faster. Any requirements for participants? No, not at all. You just join my squad when I do the content, or you just come wherever I am going, because most of them are on a specific location. So the race will be on Lorna's Pass. The track, I don't know where it will be. We will see which kind of stuff we have to find. The challenge will be in Iron Marches, and the other race will be in Southern Cove. So of course, if you don't have that location unlocked yet, then you can't join. But other than that, doesn't matter. You can come on level 10 character if you want to. So a lot of opportunities for you to get into the guild missions. So a little bit more time until everyone should be ready. Yeah, I think coming with a full map completion might be the most logical choice. Just if you have to jump around a lot on the waypoints, helps. But of course, if you have, for example, Southern Cove unlocked on a special character, then you can just use this character as well. You don't need the whole map completion just to do this one guild mission. They are apparently not that hard, actually. So the races are just, we have a specific time limit and we have to complete a specific amount of, yeah, finish lines before we get there. So I can do it if I'm really fast alone, but I think that will not be possible, especially for the 11-minute one. So everyone that joins is very helpful. Okay, so let me set up the squad first. Give me a second. Last time I was there with my Ellie trying to get that fucking Kaka toughness potion. Yeah, this one is really good. That's one of the very rare things that just gives you baseline stats for the utility consumables, I think. So the Kaka one is really good, but I think it's quite annoying to get as far as I remember. So yeah, just that you know, I think for me it's not worth it to get, but if you have it already, then it's good. Okay, so let's see with what we start. Probably with something quite easy. You don't have any bounty. The bounties are the easiest, so we just have to track down a target and you have to kill it in time, which is really, really easy. So I guess we just start with maybe the first race. That's just quite easy. So it will be in Lorna's Pass. And we have 31 minutes. That should be easily doable. I don't know how much time one specific lap needs, but I think 31 minutes, that should be doable. And I think it's somewhere in the middle here. I did it once before, but it was years ago, so please bear with me. I also have to check some of them because I don't know every single one of them by heart. Okay, so it's apparently here somewhere. Somewhere here. Somewhere around here where I set the marker. So if you want to join, just come to this location. And I think you have to speak with some kind of starting thing, and then you can actually just continue to run the laps as fast as you can. Oh, where is it? There it is, yes. 10 are already completed, so someone else already started this event, which is really interesting. So this is a weird thing of Guild Wars 2, that you can just interact with a guild event that someone else put up, and we will get credit for that as well. It's just really weird. It's really, really weird. I don't know. So you just are transformed, so you can't really speed it up. You just have to complete it here. And of course, try to survive and not get hit by the traps that are around here. It's a little bit annoying. You can see them when you press your 1 skill. So you can actually avoid them and dodge through them. That's why it's a guild event, so if you try to... And just see how many checkpoints you actually have here, or how many you still need. Yeah, it's I would say it's quite nice, but it's not something that I would do every single week, because to be honest, it's a little bit outdated. It's been in the game since, I think, almost, yeah, since start of the game, so you can definitely see that. And it's quite fun if you want to do it a little bit, but I would say guild recommendations is not something that you really need to do, because for what do you need it? Some skins for some ascended gear. Other than that, not important. And you can get ascended trinkets nowadays way easier by farming Living World Season 3 currency or something. And oh no, it hit me. Oh, that was mean. I didn't even see some kind of telegraph here. I guess that's fine. We need 2 more things, I guess. 2 more people completed. Fast. I'm fast. Nice. Can pick up those buffs apparently that speed you up. It's actually careful, there are multiple ones, yes. And now there should be none here, so we can just rush through. And don't get hit by the ice fields of those worms. They're a little bit annoying. No, not me, please. No. Let's... No. Please don't hit me. Okay, I think there's no trap left here anymore. No, in the middle there's one, okay. A little bit more. Come on, we will make it. No. It's such a weird adventure, I have to be honest. Okay, okay, there's another champion here. Few more, 1 more, and we have it. As far as I know, at least. Very good, very good. No. I mean, it doesn't kill you 1 shot, so you can actually just wait it out until the condis run off and you will be fine. Nice. I think we should have it now. Target complete. Perfect. So everyone that is just... I think you don't even have to complete the run. You just need to be passed through 1 gate. So that should be fine, and you get the reward for it. You could see. Build motion complete. We got the reward, even though I did not finish. So very good job, everyone. That's the weird part. Like I said, they are outdated. So that means you can just join someone else's guild or someone else who did that already, and you actually get rewarded for that. So we did complete maybe 3, 4 of our guild did complete it. I actually didn't even finish it in time, and we still got full credit for it. You know, we got the favor. So very easy. Yeah, you can also, very good point, you can set that up that it's consistently casting that. But of course, typically you should run that as a group, and everyone is casted after one another, so we can just run continuously without being downed. But it's fine. We did it. So thanks for helping. We will go to the next one as soon as this is over, so everyone has the chance to get more rewards. Like I said, you can even now you can still join, just interact with this thing and walk through 1 of those gates, and you should be good and should get it. But I'm not sure if that's still working. Anyway, we wait a bit and then we go to the next one. Now we know how it works. So we did the first race. Now we are going for the hard challenge, which should be way harder. We have only 11 minutes and not 31 to complete it, but we should know what to do. So we will go to South Sun Cove next. So. Yeah, the guild PvE missions are actually quite easy. I would say, for me, I think the world versus world ones are more fun because they need some interaction. You need to hold a tower or something. I think that can be really fun. But I think the PvE ones are way easier, so that's what we are gonna do, especially because all of the people in my guild probably are interested in PvE at least to some extent. So that's not a big deal then. Yeah, congrats, you did it. I did not actually do it, so fine. You carried me there. Thanks a lot. And let's see where the South Sun one is. I think it's... Let's check where it actually is. Kiel's Outpost. Where is Kiel's Outpost? Ah, it's there. Okay. So it should be somewhere here. So I set a squad marker. I hope you can all see it, where it should be. I did not start it yet. I want to wait for some more people. There it is. Yes, you can just teleport to me. Should work. And as soon as everyone, at least in the squad, is here, I will start the guild mission. Or I think we can also start before. It does not really matter too much. Like I said, we have 11 minutes now to complete it as soon as I start it. I don't know how many we need. Should be fine, I hope. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Really? So you did that before? I don't know if it's actually that hard. Like I said, it was years ago, maybe even a decade when I did last guild missions, so I can't remember what they are looking like. But if we don't get it, it's fine. We can try our best. And I don't know. Maybe we have just some very good gamers like you that are actually doing the correct path because I failed. I don't know. Okay, so I guess everyone is almost here. Yeah, I think we will try our best. If we can't get it, that's how it is. It's not that important. Of course, it would be really nice to get 500 more favor. But if we can't, that's okay. I think we should be able to do the challenge and the track though. Especially the track, which is really easy. Okay, so I guess everyone is here. Let's launch the mission. Someone else started it already. I think if someone else actually interacts, I think there are some people that are not in our guild, they can also do it. So we can block with this 3 skill. We get a speed boost with the 2, and we can search for some traps. Okay, so let's go. Okay. That's like in this weird meme song, you know? It's exactly the same move. The crabs. It's really funny. How did that hit me? The hitbox. Oh. Wait. No, Courier. No, we lost you. No. Oh no, 2 people. No, that's not good. What? That's mean. That's mean. Very mean. Okay, let's go again. 9 minutes. We have some friendly people helping us here. That also want some guild recommendations apparently. So let's hope that we get 15 people through. That's the only thing we care about. I think Kaka are edible to some extent, at least the interior parts. Let me alone. Oh no. Let me alone. Oh, that was mean. They were following you and they actually killed me. Okay, let's try harder here. Concentrate, we can get this. Can we use... No, we can't. Okay, that would be too broken. Okay. No one made it through yet. I think this one is hard. You might be right on this one. I mean, the pool was really nasty there in this cavern there. It was really nasty. I actually did not see any telegraphing, so it was mean. Maybe we should place a healer there or someone that just heals us and kills the enemies. That would actually be maybe worthwhile to do. I can do that actually if I fail one more time. I mean, the hitboxes of those guys are actually crazy. What? How did he pull me there? That's actually crazy. Okay. Maybe I just try to kill them and heal you guys. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. I'm better at fighting than going for some kind of races here. So maybe I can just support you. Let's see the enemies. Or kill them at least. Maybe even. Okay. Interrupt, kill. Very good. Is this a veteran? Yeah, it's a veteran, I think. I keep it occupied or kill it, and you can just pass. I think 2 people did it. I think it's doable. It's doable. Okay, we can do it. Three people, very nice. I can swap to heal. Wait. Yeah, I can heal you. I can heal you. Takes a bit actually, but I can do it. No. So close, so close. No, I almost had the heal. So sad. Okay, let's try this again. I will heal you. I don't know if there's are some enemies still alive here. Probably, yeah. I see this one. I can give you some block. Some barrier. Cheating through the course here. Nice interrupt here. Okay. See if I can get some more heals. But you look all very healthy. I think you should get it. Very nice. Good job. No, don't die on me here. If you dodge, you remove the thing here, I think. The debuff. Nice. What does that mean? Participation? Okay, I guess. Did we do it? No. Not yet. No, don't die. Six people. Nice. We are getting there. Slowly but surely. I mean, we have still 3.5 minutes left, so we get there. Oh, I get you. Lizzie, I get you. I will come. No. Nice, a little bit. Ah, they are invulnerable. Ah, they actually learned. Okay. Okay, very good. It's getting really close. I'm not sure if we can do it. 2 more minutes. I mean, we have over the half of the people through. I think that's it. And try to hit the others here, down here. Actually a real challenge. 1 more minute for 5 people. I'm not sure if we can get it. 4 more people. Okay, maybe. Okay. Mounts are not allowed. That's mean. Very good, you did it. Perfect. So... event failed. Oh no. Sad. I mean, we tried our best. That's okay. Or did we actually did it? Did we not? I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like we did it. I'm not sure. I think... No, this one. No, we didn't. Okay, so I think we did not achieve it. Let's go next to the guild challenge, apparently. Iron Marches it is. It's okay. You can't succeed every time. So let's check. Yeah, we got something, but I'm not sure. The guild actually did not get it, apparently. But it's fine. I mean, like I said, it's quite hard. I'm not sure if we were able to get it. Any case. Doesn't matter. It does not matter if we did it or not. Was actually decent attempt for sure. It's at this waypoint. What happens? Timer just stopped at 0 seconds. Okay, there we go. So this one, we actually have to go into some kind of instance. So we have to wait until everyone is there. So... let's wait for Filthy, and then I guess I will just play some kind of support. Welcome, Chu, welcome. Don't worry, we have time. Yeah, I mean, the Kaka are really mean. They are really mean. It's definitely not the nicest environment to do some kind of race. I don't know if we need support, but I'm playing offensive support. I think we just kill the enemies before we get any damage. So I think it's... We do some guild missions right now, yes. And I'm a very bad commander because I never did them, or I did them 10 years ago, so I can't remember anything. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So I think now we have to start the guild mission, and as soon as I started it, you have to interact with this thing, yeah, and then you join the instance here. Or we get the mission or whatever, yeah. And please get the correct guild, otherwise you will join not our guild mission run, but someone else's, so that's not good. I don't know exactly how hard this one won't be, but we just have to, the supplies here, we have to defend them, we have to take care that the enemies don't steal them, as far as I know. Yeah. Okay, so I think everyone loaded in. Let's see. Yes, and then let's begin the challenge. Bring on the challenge. Okay, so 11.5 minutes. And let's see. So there will be enemies from every side as far as I remember. So we can use turrets, we can use, I also think we can use some mines and stuff. But of course, nowadays with the power creep, we can also just kill them very fast. So, Chahai Bluffs is a question from YouTube. Chahai Bluffs is a Living World Season 4 map. So you need Path of Fire. And if you have Path of Fire, you need the Living World Season 4. So if you have this, you can actually get to Chahai Bluffs. If you don't have the Living World Season 4, you can actually purchase this, I think, for 400 gems this episode in the gem store. But if you logged in at the time when it was coming out, you actually got it for free, and there will be also some other kind of events that also have that. So you can just check in your journal if you have the Living World Season 4. I think, I don't know which map it is. Living World Season 4. I think it's here. All or Nothing? No. Start to Guide Us, I think, is Chahai Bluffs. So the fourth one. If you have this one in the story channel, you apparently have it. If you don't, you have to check in the guild mission. Ooh, you spend all your gold on the Griffin mount. Of course, that's not something that you want to hear, but 400 gems is actually not that much. So you can actually get that quite easily, I would say. 400 gems is maybe, I don't know. It's doable, yeah. And think about it like that. You can purchase some amount of gold or some content for some in-game currency because you can transfer the gold into gems. So I think that's a very big plus. It's like you're buying an expansion with in-game currency, which is really nice, obviously. But I get if you spend all your currency on your Griffin, then it's obviously a little bit annoying. But you don't probably need Chahai Bluffs right now. So you can just farm for it and you can actually do it. So they breached ours. Oh, we got them. Yeah, not that exciting. Just killing some enemies that spawn all the time. I don't know. Yeah. I think this one scales also with the amount of people that are in here. So I think we are quite fine with only 6 people. But if you played it with 50, it's way more annoying. This is not a strike mission, Cow. This is actually a guild mission. So very old content back from the start of the game as far as I remember. So we do that to level up our guild and to get some guild commendations. You can buy an accessory of that, for example. Ascended ones, of course. So can be quite useful, but nowadays it's just very outdated and not a lot of people actually do that. Yeah, so we want to level up our guild because we need the favor to level up the guild and get some more buffs from the guild. And it's just a nice community activity to try to make sure that we actually get it done. We lost 1 already, but that's fine. We have 19 more, so that's fine. Would be a very boring strike mission, I have to say. It's almost like Cold War, but this one is I think 11 minutes of just killing some random enemies spawning here. That's even more boring than Cold War, I have to be honest. Yeah, glad you like my open world builds. I mean, I try my best to come up with something new, maybe something experimental that is also helping and very strong to newer players, to people that want to get some new builds going. So, of course, Guild Wars 2 is a game. A lot of people play open world, so it's nice. But coming up with very new and experimental builds is often not that easy, so I am really happy that you appreciated my work there. And of course, not all of my builds are my own. I just try to promote builds as well, because I think a lot of people asked for example, for a Condi Reaper build, and I promoted the very, very strong one from the Mixer, for example. So I think that helps as well. Having a YouTube channel that provides new builds to a lot of people helps, I think. Almost halfway through. Feels like an eternity. I don't know. Is it just me, or I think they are actually getting more? I mean, it's fine. It's not like they are getting tougher. They are just getting more. Yeah, I think the problem is if you... That's the big problem if you want to craft power open world build and you run Berserker gear, which is most likely the most damaging gear set that you could use. Typically you are very squishy, and I think that's a big problem when you come up or you want to come up with a power build, that the most optimal gear stat for a really high DPS is Berserker, but at the same time you also want some defenses, so then you get a little bit in a pickle because you don't really know what gears that you can run. I often like to run some commander pieces in there, but that of course decreases your DPS, so it's always a little bit of a challenge. So I try to make some builds that work with a lot of Berserker pieces and having, for example, some, what's it called, protection all the time, for example. That helps a lot. That's a 33% damage decrease. But yeah, I think Celestial is the superior stat when it comes to just playing very, very safe open world builds. And you see that in my builds. I would say half of the builds at least are Celestial, which is not a big deal because Celestial is actually a starter set now. When you use level 80 boost, you get Celestial gear. It's obviously really, really good. So everyone can start with that. But I think it's a little bit boring always using Celestial gear, so I try to come up with other build gear stats as well. Okay, 5 more minutes, then we are through here. Yeah, they're getting more. I think that's fine. I mean, it's not completely undoable, but I hope they don't get stronger as well, because then it might get a little bit more pain, because we are just trying to kill them. But if we can't kill them in time before another wave respawns, that's a little bit annoying, I have to admit. And now they also shoot with arrows from afar. That's also annoying. So this is just made to annoy us, I would say. Stop it. Okay. I have a very spicy open world build coming up. So the last one that I released was a Core Guardian build, because a lot of people always ask me, okay, I don't have every expansion. How does it look like? Which build is good to play? So I thought making a Core Guardian build is obviously something that is quite easy to get into. So that helps. But the next one is very special. I think not a lot of people actually know about this one. So I'm really interested what you have to see when it comes up. It will be very shortly, don't worry, next 2 days. And just a slight teaser here on my YouTube channel. Thanks for the follow, Cow, by the way, and Richie. Really appreciate it. 3 more minutes. No, the tree was in the way. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. Stop shooting arrows at my supplies. No, I didn't get the teleport. Nice, he killed them. 2.5 more minutes. Almost through. Almost through. As always, if you're a new player, if you're a veteran, whatever, you have any questions, please let me know. I try to answer them as good as I can. So I asked the question before in my stream, but I'm asking it again, just if people really have some kind of input here. I'm gathering research, just tips, whatever you come up with. What kind of thing, trick, just information would you really like to have known way earlier? So when you started playing Guild Wars 2, what kind of, yeah, just thing that is related to Guild Wars 2 gameplay in some extent would you have liked to know way earlier? Because I think a lot of new players miss stuff very easily in this game, and it would help a lot to make a video where I collect just those type of information that people that are a little bit more experienced in the game gathered over the years and gather them in a single video to help people get into the game. So, for example, what I know is that there is those chests that you get all the time in Guild Wars 2 that float above your minimap, those wiggly chests, and you can actually right-click them and you can get the reward instantly without getting the pop-up window. This is something that not a lot of people actually know about when they come in the game. When you're a veteran, you actually take it for granted at some point, but before that, you don't know, and it's such a convenience. It's so annoying to do so all the time with the OK clicking and stuff. So I think this is a really good tip, and something like that in that regard. I always like to get some input if you have something like that that you did not know and wanted to know way earlier. So perfect. And yeah, that's one of the tips that I wanted to bring up in the video, but there are other tips as well. So it's just right clicking on the wiggly chest. So instead of left clicking, just right clicking and you instantly get it. I have some other tips. I will do them in my video, but if you have something that you think is way too underrated or people don't know about, let me know so that we can put it in the video as well. Okay, so we are almost done. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and we are done. Nice. Good job, you did it. Okay, and then the last one is the track. Let's wait for the reward. There we go. Can see 1 guild commendation, not that much, but at least a little bit more than a gold, that's okay. And there we go. The next one would be the guild track. For the guild track, we have to get to 5 mystery targets, mystery locations. They are spread all over the world, and we have to find those locations. I have a little bit of a cheat sheet here, so I will try to look for that. But of course, we should also try to find them. Let's start it, and I hope everyone is ready. And let's see. So I guess I will go to Drake Cleft Shelf, where that is. And we just have to go there. That's the only thing. We just have to venture to this position, wherever that might be. Yeah. So this one is in okay. Okay, so you see a picture, we have to go where the picture is, and that's it. I didn't know that level 80 booster gives you full armor set. That's a very good point. I mean, it's something that I would say is, you notice it as soon as you use the level 80 boost, so that's very good. But I think it's not very good explained. I mean, I think it says when you double click it that you also will get some stuff. No, actually it doesn't say. So very good point. I should put it in on my list. Very good. Okay, so this one is apparently check somewhere here. I will go there. I think this one, I just have the cheat sheet. I walk to this one and then we should get the first target complete. Yeah, there we go. Someone had the black blade butt. Where is it? Perfect, thanks. Well, let's see, where exactly is it? Here, I think. Where this tree is apparently, I think. Check before I leave. There it is. Fire flock springs perfect. Thanks. Good job, courier. Or whoever was it. Doesn't matter. You did it. It's a little bit annoying. Where is the exact location here? Let's see. Where the picture was taken, you know, so. So, I think here. Somewhere around the squad marker here. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I don't use taco, so I'll have to search for the stuff a bit. So I don't know where exactly it is. So let's see if we can find it like this. Okay, we have to enter from the south entrance. That's the problem. It's apparently some kind of hidden thing. You see, I have map complaint, but I was never here. So there we go. I have it now. Hidden caves. There it is. Okay, let me go climb up there. There we go. Verdant's font. Where isn't this one? Let's check. It's quite a pain to get all of those, actually. But it's actually fun. I never did that before, I have to be honest. Verdant's font waypoint. Okay. And then where's the last one? Monument to the ancient one. Okay. Oh no, this one is probably contested. It's always contested, this one, I think. No, it's not. Very good. Oh, we did it. Good job, everyone. Or did we not? Why did I get a guild commendation? You never know. Apparently we did not, but we... Oh, this is a bit annoying. So... somewhere here. Somewhere around here, I would say. I just showed some new people the game, and the worst thing to get into is inventory management. Yeah, that's right. I think inventory management in Guild Wars 2 is quite annoying, especially if you're a new player, because you don't know what to keep, what to throw away. But I think all the MMOs actually struggle with that. So I tried to make some guides about that. I might, for example, I also have the unidentified gear guide, I have salvage guides and that kind of stuff. But it's really hard to get a really fast inventory cleaning going without watching a lot of guides, especially if you're a new player. So yeah, I try my best, but it's not always possible for new people to get the understanding perfectly at the first thing. So is it upstairs? Yeah, I think it's probably on top of the thing here. Okay. Or is it on the bottom? One of those things. Can't see it from here. Ah, it's down. Okay, courier has it. So whoever needs some and needs the interaction, please come here. You can teleport to courier, me, or also to Al. And you can interact with this thing to get the last chance for getting the guild commendation this week. So, oh no, we lost one. Oh, Kaka are annoying, holy shit. There we go. And also bags, you can even undo your boost. Yeah, I think, no, you can't undo your boost as soon as you completed it. So you can try your character in Silver Wastes, but as soon as you accept that this is the character that you want to use, then you will use it. So you only can undo the boost when you really need to test the character and just see how it works, how the gameplay is and stuff. But as soon as you accept it, you actually get the gear and that stuff completely, and then you will lose the complete 80 boost. But that's really good, yeah. So if someone on the spot, no, you have to interact with the spot. So you can move there, but as soon as someone interacts with it, it will actually go away. And I think we are done, are we not? Yes, that's it. Thanks everyone, was really good. And we did it. Good job. Not that hard. Next week we can do it again. And now we can start some more upgrades. We have 1000 favor, 3000 Ethereum, and let's check what we get this time in the guild. The sad part is as soon as you interact with the spot, it vanishes. That means if you have not got the chance to get to one of those mystery targets, you will not get credit for it, which is a little bit sad. I think it everyone should get the chance to get it, but it's fine. I think we are all happy now. So let's see what we can get for upgrades. I'm not sure if I want that. I always go for the ones that are a little bit more useful first. So for example, I want to go for the scribing or the upgrades to the synthesizers and that kind of stuff. Let's see what I can get. But they are slowly getting quite expensive, I have to be honest. So this is critical crafting one. I guess we can do this one. So we have now better synthesizers, I think. We don't have any Ethereum left, that's good. We can just recover that. And now we should get better results here. A little bit at least. Yeah, I think that's good. We get 4 hits now as far as I know. Very good. A little bit, it's a tough job to upgrade the guild. Don't underestimate that. I put a lot of gold into it already. And it's a nice thing to do actually. It's some kind of progression system that I have not that much experience with, so very nice. If you enjoy it, you can get some more stuff out of there, and especially, like I said, don't forget to get your boosts here. This is really, really nice. It's just free and you can get actually more experience or more whatever you currently need. PvP reward track, world versus world one. It's really good. So I use for my world versus world character this one, for PvP this one, and for PvE this one. It's really, really good. Okay. So let's do some fractals now. Let's see. Wanted to do some fractals. I wanted to play some healer this time, because last time the last few times I played DPS, and I noticed it's horrible. Playing DPS, typically you have someone that is not supporting well, or sometimes you just can't get your rotation going. I want to play Soul Beast, and so I think, okay, let's go healer and show how it works. So let's go for fractals. Let's speak to this guy to get the achievements. Very good. 100 karma. Very good. And let's see if we can get some other interested fractal players. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I try to explain my fractals, what I'm doing, what utilities I'm swapped to and why. But of course, there are a lot of mechanics happening, possibly, so I can't tell every single thing that is going to happen. But I, of course, try my best. Okay. So are those achievements for Ad Infinitum Heart? So let's check them out. I did them a long time ago. Let's check what they are actually do. So a lot of them, some of them you can purchase. Some of them are really easy, like you complete them in less than 5 minutes in scale 20, very easy, and that kind of stuff. Some of them, so I would say the hardest ones, for me at least, were the ones that you have to do a certain fractal. Of course, in the first achievement part, it's in the lower scale with 80% healing reduction. So that means it's a little bit harder to survive, but if you know the fractal already, so those should not be that hard. But if you get to the highest one, you have to do it on really the highest tier fractals, which can be quite annoying. But I would say all of them are actually quite doable. Yeah, I would say there are always people looking for others that want to join in with the achievements. You can always see people looking for Ad Infinitum. Yeah, this one here, Ad Infinitum run. So you can just join, and it's actually very doable, especially with the power creep by now. It's not that hard. I would say if I had you in my CM group just as the 5th person, we would just carry you through it. So this is really, really easy. So don't worry. It's the power creep nowadays made it very hard, very easy to actually do. Very hard to fail. So, and it doesn't involve any challenge modes or anything. You can just do it with the normal fractal. T-Force is the maximum that you need for that. So don't worry about it at all. It's been an hour since I bought gems and Annette's still processing it. Yeah, I mean, that's sometimes a little bit weird. Sometimes they are instantly there. They only take a second, and sometimes it takes longer. That's a little bit sad because you can't influence that. So if you don't get it after some time, you should ask support, but I think give them at least 24 hours. That's the sad part. Of course, you want your stuff now, but I would say it's definitely not uncommon that that happens. I mean, it's fine. I think you don't worry about the achievements. They're actually very easy to do. Don't worry. Yeah, I will do some fractal CMs. I'm not sure how much experience you have with fractal CMs. So I'm just doing my regular fractal rotation. So I don't want to do a training right now. I just want to have people that are experienced with fractal CMs. So if you are experienced and you have all the kills and stuff, then you can join, of course. But if not, then I would rather not have it. So I just do the normal fractal rotation. You know, the fractal rush achievements they are really easy. You just complete 5 different fractals of this certain thing. So you complete a few recommended fractals and you complete your daily T4 fractals twice or something, or today I will just do one rotation of my fractal CMs with the normal fractals and I have the highest one already completed, and then you do some fractal rush achievements or you just do some recommended fractals over the next days and you're done. It's really easy. Yeah, I will do fractal trainings in the future, so don't worry about that, but not today. So tomorrow we will do the training with the raid and hopefully we'll kill demos this time, but not today. I don't want to do trainings all the time. I want to also showcase a little bit of how a fast or some kind of more experienced run looks like. Let's see if we can. One second. Let's play some healer and show off how you typically heal as an heal chronomancer. I try my best, but I'm not the, full try hard here. I try my best to explain what I'm doing, but there will be some mistakes as well. So the first fractal we do is the 99 one, because the 100 one is really bad with pucks. I cleared it, but people typically fail at it way too often to actually do it in pucks. At least in my experience, you can do it. It's actually not hard, but people don't have the DPS often and they don't know what to do, so I just would rather skip it. It's also not my favorite fractal. So I'm now playing 99 one. Okay, I mean, thanks for watching me twice if that's helping you. Thanks a lot. It's helping me, so that's good. So for the first fractal, the fractal CM, today it's of my rotation silent surface part, so I just skipped 100 CM. All the other CMs I do. Silent surf one, you can, that's the good part, skip to the end boss by using the challenge mode. So when you activate the challenge mode, you skip to the end boss. It's really good. I think I did it once, the normal mode, and then I did only the challenge mode, just because the normal one is so bad. I really dislike it. So now, here, I actually swap to this trade. So I lose a lot of healing and Condy Cleanse, but I go for Blood Inscriptions because I can then use this sigil, or signet rather. And this is really, really good. It now extends the boons of all my allies, making my allies having the boons almost permanently, because in this fractal we get a lot of splits. So we have to split a lot. And it can get really, really annoying to get upkeep 100% of the boons. So for example, Alacrity, Quickness, but also Protection and Regeneration are really important boons. But if you split it all the time, then it can get quite annoying to actually upkeep those. So with this, you can actually help your Quickness and Alacrity to actually help them a lot to sustain the boons. So that's why I swapped to this, but only for this fractal. There are people that run that for all the fractals, but I feel like in a pack, typically people take more damage than they need to. So I want to be safe and heal them as much as I can, but this fractal doesn't have that much pressure applied to us when it comes to damage from the boss. So we can just heal a little bit less, but have better boon uptime. So on this fractal, you could also play other healers, of course, but I really like to play with Chronomancer just because Chronomancer is very, very strong when it comes to flexibility. You have a lot of CC, you have a lot of healing, you have a lot of cleanses, ability, whatever you need, and all on one class. So on this fight, for example, a healing catalyst would actually also do a decent job because you have a lot of boons that you can easily upkeep, but in other fights where you need stability or where you need a lot of cleanses, that can get a little bit annoying. So just, yeah. So, I mean, I don't need to heal all the time, so don't worry. I will play some kind of healer first, and then when you get to it and you want to join my fractals runs, then you can play heal and I play DPS or something. You will be a very good healer. I never doubt you, so then I have no problems doing DPS if you're a very good healer. So looking forward to it. So now we just spam my boons, and you can see it's crazy with this setup how much actually the boons are permanently there. The upkeep is crazy. So my CC will also be very good. Having 10%, we get a nice CC phase. And yeah. If you have any questions to a specific part of the fight, please let me know as well. Try to explain all of that. Typically on this fight, it's quite important that the healer also has at least a little bit of damage baked into the kit. So if you go full minstrel here, you might have difficulties because you might have to split and kill some mobs at 66 or 33%. If you can't do that as the healer, your group will wipe. So having at least a little bit of damage, a little bit of power in your gear is required for this fight. Which is not a big problem typically, because you run Harrier anyway. But just that you know that this might be required from a healer here. Of course, always go out with the AoEs. Dodge them because otherwise the boss, or move out of them, otherwise the boss will get boons like it just did. Can get quite annoying. Another CC phase, not a big deal. Can use my phantasms here. My allies help as well. And now we get the first split phase. Not too big. I boon up my allies a bit so that we actually can get enough of those. You see, now I got targeted by this. I have to kill this guy in the next few seconds. And that's why I'm also on Dagger. Dagger gives me way more damage. And I actually can also kill this guy very easily. Or at least somewhat easily if I play Harrier as well. But apparently someone else did not do it, so that's why we wipe. That's why I hate this fractal almost as much as Lonely Tower, because someone else failed the mechanic. I have to redo it. Really annoying. The whole fight for nothing. It takes forever to do. So yeah, that's just sad. On the raid training, that's okay. In the raid training, you can play also healer. We need 2 healers. So you can play healer, I can play something offensive, it doesn't matter. So I can check if you're in. It does not matter if there might be someone not joining or whatever, so don't worry, we will find a spot for you if you are not in there. But I think you should be signed up. I think we have enough people and I think I saw you there, but I'm not completely sure about it for sure. So we will see. Just come in tomorrow. Maybe someone is not there and you can just join in if you don't sign up. If you have signed up, then you're fine anyway. Oh my god, people are just dying all the time. That's why you should not join a lot of easy or low unstable fractal essence groups, a lot low kill proof groups, because they keep dying and that's really, really annoying. Yeah, this boss is, I would say this boss is the problem. You should typically have a healer here because it actually applies a lot of damage if you're in melee range. So if you don't have a healer, that can get quite annoying, especially because in the split phases you also get damage, so can get really annoying. So I would say if you played it without a healer, I would highly recommend you to get someone that has at least a little bit of healing going, because otherwise it might get really annoying. And you can see this is really easy if I heal them and know what I'm doing. But if the healer does not know what they are doing, that can get quite scary. Always look alive when the eyes are happening. And now we can finally go to the boss and try to do some booning. So like I said, I don't have as much healing as I normally have because I don't get the cleanses and the healing from the shatters. But for this fight, it's actually okay if I am a little bit safe and use my healing and stuff when there is healing needed. People like to stand in those AoEs. It's really annoying because they buff up the boss, which is really, really bad. Because it will not only deal more damage, but it will also just take less damage because of the protection. So we really have to make sure that we don't do that. But apparently people like to do that, I don't know why. Okay, so you see the boss. Nice. It's really not that hard. This boss has 3 mechanics, I would say. Move out of the AoEs, do the split phases, and just stick to the group any other way and do some breakbar damage if you really have to. Okay. Okay, but let me tune down the in-game music then, sorry. Yeah, I mean thieves in this fractal are I mean thieves in general in PvE are not as good as they used to be, which is a little bit sad. But having 3 thieves can be too much for this fractal. I mean, typically you run 1 Condi thief for this fractal, which is really, really good. But as soon as you don't have someone that... So typically thieves have the problem. Let me phrase it differently. If you have multiple Condi thieves in a fractal, they override each other's poisons, and it can, or not poisons, but what's it called? Venoms, that's how it's called. So that can get quite annoying. I don't know, we wiped again. I don't know, maybe if I had a better group, this is really annoying. Maybe I find a better group. This is... I don't like it when people don't do the mechanics because I just keep failing here. So I try to get a better group. Let's see if we can join this one. Don't want to be toxic or anything, but I don't like it if people fail continuously because it's just wasting our time all the time. I don't know. I think actually Spectre is in a very good spot in PvE, but people just don't play it that often. Yeah, I think Spectre is in a very good spot, but the other thief specs are just DPS specs that don't bring a lot of utility, so people don't play them typically because people just like to play other DPS that have some nice utility or something useful other than DPS. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is actually really just Thief is being bad or if just people don't like to play Thief in general in PvE. I don't know. But I think they should buff Thief a bit to make it more interesting to people. That's a good point, I would say. I think I don't like this fractal because it's really annoying to fight when people keep failing because you have to redo all the parts that are very boring. You know, it's just takes forever to do this fractal, which is something that I really dislike in fractals. I want to have something that I can restart really fast and I can complete very fast if I know what I'm doing and not fight a boss for 10 minutes like a strike mission. This fractal is like a strike mission for 5 people. It's not my favorite. But it's better than Lonely Tower for sure. Exactly. I think Thief, just like Rua points out, is decent, but you have to play it well. And not everyone actually likes to play Thief just because Thief is a very special thing. And in PvE, people still have the idea that Thief is not that good, which is obviously not always the case. People just think, for example, or at least thought for years, that Heal Firebrand in raids is bad, but that's not the case. It's just people... we CC'd too late, it's annoying. Just people that did not come to the conclusion too fast. They needed years for that actually, so that's a big problem, of course. Okay, so let's go. This time we have it, I hope. So it's only 2 more weeks until the next update, I think. Let's check. So this is, yeah, 2 more weeks until we get the next update. So I'm really hyped for that. Let's see what the new map brings and what we get. I don't know. I think talking about the meta is very weird, especially in PvE, because meta is always something that is evolving. Yeah. If you look at PvP and World versus World, if someone comes up with a really good build, let's say, then someone else finds another build that does really well against this build. And then what do you think about? Is the other build then worse or what? I think meta is always very fluid. It's very dynamic. It's changing all the time. So in PvE, you don't have that much because you play against the boss. So a boss is a little bit more of, okay, a boss is very favorable for example, I don't know, this bot takes more condi damage or is better with condis or range builds rather because it jumps around a lot. So does it make, for example, a power DH worse? Oh my god, people. First attack, they are dead. Not good. Not good at all. Hopefully they orb here. Otherwise it's really annoying. Okay, they did. Okay, there we go. So I think talking about the meta in PvE is always something really weird because you can talk about how good is a build in vacuum. So how well is the DPS, how well is the boon application. But typically talking about a very good build also should be about on which boss it is very well doing and on which boss it's actually not. So I think this is why I don't like to say, okay, you should play this build all the time, because that's not the case. Play the build that you enjoy, and typically you will do better on some bosses and worse on others. That's fine. But some builds, for example, like Healing Harbinger, is not there. You can't play it. So this is fine. Not every build has to exist, but I try to make tier lists about general state and general usefulness. How well a build is in a particular situation is really hard to judge. So I try to make builds that are somewhat good in all situations. Of course, that's not always easy. Sometimes it's actually quite hard because some builds are just baseline very situational. But for example, Healing Chronomancer is really good in a lot of situations because you can bring a lot of things. That's the other part. For example, a Thief, a Daredevil, or a Deadeye. They are very specialized in dealing damage and providing, for example, quickness. That's it. So if you want anything else from a quickness support, then it gets quite hard. Yeah, then a Deadeye can't fill this role very easily. But if you have a Chronomancer that does the role, you actually have a way better or way easier job to do so. So I think this is really important to understand that sometimes you have builds that are very generally good, and then you have some builds that are just in some situations very good. And I think both have their value, but it's really hard to talk about a build and say, okay, this build is shit, because that's just in Guild Wars 2 not often the case. Can I kill this guy or not? So let's CC the boss again. It's really annoying. You see, it's always the same pattern. It takes forever. CC, thanks. Yeah. What class is most variable for all the contents in your opinion? Versatile. Okay. So this is a question that I can answer. I think if you look about different classes, which classes are the most versatile, I would say Guardian is very versatile in all game modes. And the last one would, or the next one would be Mesmer. If you want a specific elite spec, I would say Chronomancer is a very versatile one, and probably Firebrand. Those two are really, really good when it comes to elite specs and that kind of stuff, which are really versatile. Warrior, Thief, and Revenant are not that versatile, I would say, sadly, just because of their general class design. I think Ranger is also in a very decent spot right now. The other classes, Elementalist and stuff, they can be versatile, but are not the most versatile. So they are somewhat in the middle, I would say. But that's just my take. I have a tier list on YouTube where I talk about overall class performance. Maybe you should check that out, because I take that stuff into consideration and talk about it for 10 minutes or even longer. So there I talk about all the advantages and disadvantages of specific builds, but it's really hard to think, okay, this class you should pick because it's the most versatile one. I think Mesmer would be the one that I would choose just because it has so good utility skills. But I'm also a little bit biased because I might like Mesmer a lot. Yeah, just from the class design. Oh, wasted my Moa there on the stability one. Not good. It's fine. I think Necromancer is also in a decent spot. I think Necromancer is, however, in PvP and World vs. World not as versatile. I think in PvE it's in a very good spot, but when it comes to the other game modes, it's not as versatile. I was talking about all the game modes. But of course, that's even harder to judge. If you think about only PvE, then you have a little bit more versatility when it comes to other builds as well. I think the only classes that I would say are not that versatile are Guardian, Revenant, Thief, and the last one would be Warrior. Those three I would say are not that crazy versatile just from their design, and that's just how it is. But other than that, I would say all classes can be played in almost any role quite easily. So I would say Firebrand is the best Guardian spec when it comes to versatility over all game modes, because you can play it as a support in PvP in World vs. World, you can play it as a support in Fractals in PvE in general, but you can also play it as an offensive DPS, you can play it as an offensive support. There are a lot of options there. But it might not be the easiest, just because you have the tomes on your F skills, which are a little bit more, yeah, just a little bit more text to learn, so it can be a little bit harder. But other than that, I would say it's a really good option. I think Mesmer, especially after the rival changes and stuff, Chronomancer is such a good, very versatile build. So I would say that's my best pick when it comes to overall on elite specs. I would say Chronomancer is probably the best, but only in versatility. Does not mean it's the best DPS build or something. It's just, from my perspective, the build that is the most versatile one. Okay, now let's go to Sanqua. Here we need a lot of CC. So that's why I bring Mantra and Signet of Humility. And so Thief. So why is Thief hard to play? I would say it depends on the Thief build. But if you, for example, look at, let's say one of the examples would be Deadeye. Deadeye has a high damage output if you look at the raid meta build, yeah. And if you then look at your quickness DPS variant, you still have a lot of DPS output, but you don't have any utility. So that's the first thing. So you only provide quickness, yeah. And the thing is, you do that by dealing a lot of damage. If you fuck up your rotation for whatever reason once, it's actually not helping at all your party. So if you do it once and fuck up your rotation, you might lose all your DPS, you might lose all your quickness time and stuff. That can be really, really annoying to do so. So that's why Thief, in my opinion, might be a bit harder to play, because you get more punished than most other elite specs. That does not mean it's really hard. I would say it's just people make it hard by saying it all the time that Thief is not that easy. Yeah, I would say in general, Thief is actually not that difficult. So just to let me explain here, I CC'd on the side because my party has apparently quite good DPS. So I CC'd it on the side to make the break bug go away, get some nice expose debuff going, and we get more DPS. You should only do that if your party has enough DPS. Just explaining the fractal here. But I would say Thief is not that hard to play. It's just people always say, oh, it's so squishy and you have to do your rotation perfectly to make it work. I don't know. I think Thief is not that hard. It's just undervalued often because people just don't play it that often. That's the bigger problem in my opinion. I don't know. Just my take. Yeah. So here we hide behind the rock or in front of them. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense, but you can also deny an attack just by doing that. And now I can CC again if I want. Just by going in CS when I cast the MOA just before I finish it, or just before I finish the aftercast, I actually can use the MOA twice very easily, and I can almost single-handedly carry the CC here. So not a big deal. I would play Fractals. I barely played them and I don't have Agony. I have as in this armor and weapon chest, but I'm still unsure what kind of stats to pick, but also unsure what kind of build I'm going. So I would say depends if you are going a healer. If you want to play a healer, like I'm currently doing, typically Harrier are the best stats, giving you power and concentration and healing power. Really, really good stats all over. If you want to play a DPS build, typically Berserker are the best choices. Of course, you have to look for your build that you are playing. So for example, Dragon Hunt and stuff might use different stats. Sometimes you use Dragon stats, sometimes you use Assassin stats. Depends a bit on the build, but typically Berserker and Harrier are the best options. If you want to play a Condi build, you go with Viper. So not that hard. I have build guides about on my channel as well on a lot of builds, so you can just check them out on YouTube. And I talk about the gear, and all of the stuff that I'm talking about is also really, really good in Fractals. So just that you know. And yeah, we should now easily kill the boss here, I hope. Welcome, Katja, welcome. Yeah, I think the Healing Catalyst build is I just released a guide about it, and I think a lot of people actually did not actually know this build exists, which is really crazy to me because this build is so fun and it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And I'm really happy that people actually noticed that and actually, yeah, just now actually hopefully try it out and we see more of them around. It's a really good build. Glad you like it. And I think it's a very nice variety of, if you play Tempest all the time, you can get something different healing build that is somewhat close but somewhat different. So I think it's still a very nice build. What kind of Condi build would you recommend? I think Condi Scourge is by far the best option. I think Condi Scourge is so good that I would say it's not only a starter build, but it's also a very, very good not starter build. Oop, I think I just fucked my rotation up, but it's okay. So Condi Scourge is such a good build. It's really, really good. I would highly recommend you play Condi Scourge at first if you're a Necro fan, just because it's really, really good. For PvE. Only for PvE. Please don't play it anywhere else. Condi Scourge is really good because Condi Scourge has the inherent support element from their F skills, so their shade skills. Because you get barrier for your allies, you get ease, or for yourself as well, you get very easy, how is it called? Condi cleanse as well, very frequent Condi cleanse, which obviously helps a lot in, for example, Fractals, in hard fights where you get Condi pressured a lot. So this is really, really good. And the Condi DPS is not to be underestimated just because the rotation is actually quite easy. So you typically out damage a lot of not as skilled people just because your rotation is way easier and you can therefore keep it up way easier. So this is a very, very underrated build or underused build in my opinion, just because a lot of people think, oh, I'm so good at the game, I can play a DPS build that does more damage. But in my opinion, that should only be the case if you really know what you're doing. If you are still somewhat new, typically a Condi Scourge will outperform in your hands than any other Condi build, just because you are way safer with this build, and it's, I don't know, just it's also quite fun to play, I would say. So I don't know. Thanks for the follow, Nico. Thanks a lot. There we go. We killed it. Not that hard. And I think the boon up time was also decent, at least on me. Yeah. Glad you like my content. More to come. More to come. Don't worry. Let's wait for the pop. It's always a little bit annoying. The pop happens a little bit later. There we go. And let's go to the next track this year. The other option that I would say is quite easy and very safe is Condi Word. If you're playing Mesmer, you can play Condi Word. It's extremely strong. It is a little bit less of a support element baked into the kit, but it has a lot of defensive with invulnerability, with healing and stuff. so it has a lot of range damage. Those two Condi builds I would say are the best starter options for Condi players. If you want to go for high-end damage builds, I would say Condi Harp or Condi Willbender are the best options. They have the highest damage and also very decent in fractals, for example. But I would start out with those very easy builds. For World vs. World, typically in a Zerg game setting, so 50 versus 50, I would not play a Condi build. You would play at maximum a Celestial build. You could play, for example, Celestial Reaper or Celestial Tempest, something like that. But I would say in Zerg play, you don't use that. For roaming, I would say Celestial Harbinger is very good. You can play some Condi Druid, you can play some Condi Berserker. There are a lot of options for roaming. Have some guides about them, be sure to check them out. You have a playlist on YouTube about all the, how's it called, roaming builds. So be sure to check that out. Yeah. Other than that, I would say, let's think. Signet Cutter is still a very good build. Let's go. Signet Cutter is still a very good build. But other than that, let me quickly do the rotation here. But my party is quite decent. You can see the DPS of the Soul Beast is quite nice. And now I have to upkeep stability all the time. My job is in this fight is just keeping stability. That's the most important one. Chaining all the stability skills all the time. Yeah, Catalyst is not the easiest beginner spec. I would say Harbinger is quite easy, or decently easy. It's quite squishy, but it's very good. You can play Condivert if you want to. I think it's also not that easy, or it's decently easy, but it's not the most beginner friendly one. I don't know, Condi Warrior seems decent, I would say. But it's quite hard actually. I think for roaming there are a lot of Condi builds, but for saying one Condi build is very easy and another is not, I think that's not really a good idea, just because typically roaming is very skill based. So if you're using a build that is somewhat easy and you are just outskilling your opponent, then you will win. If you play an easy build and you play it decently well and your opponent plays a hard build and plays it also very well, typically they win. So I don't know, it depends very hard on what current setup you have, what kind of situation you're in. I think I wouldn't say there is a very easy Condi build to play in World vs. World. Maybe Condi Soul Beast is decently easy, but also, I don't know. It's hard. I don't want to say anything that recommends. It's not that easy as in World PvP for that matter. So let's see if I can get the Insta-CC here. Nice, we got it. Very good, we did it. So I can keep this guy CC'd, that's really nice. And now we need a lot of reflects. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can find a very easy Condi build for World vs. World. I think the problem is a lot of builds in World vs. World are either you play some kind of Trailblazer gear and the build itself is therefore quite tanky and annoying, or you play Celestial, or you play some kind of really aggressive build like maybe Berserker or Marauder stats or something. I don't know. I think Greatsword Mirage is really good power one for Zerging, so you can have a lot of fun with that with the casual. But you also have to be aware that this is really, really squishy. So just that you know, don't die all the time just by overcommitting. Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, a lot of CC for the next fight required. So that's why I bring Moa again. This time I bring Feedback just to reflect some stuff. Nice, you play with Torch. Very, very sneaky, I know. Very good. Oh, come on, guys. Okay. So you can see why this build is very flexible. I'm swapping my traits, I'm swapping my utility skills, my elite skills, depending on the situation. Sometimes I even swap the weapons. So really important that if you want to be a good support in Fractals, you have to swap your utility skills for the next situations and stuff, so that your group has all the buffs that they need, all the support, the utility that they get. Nice. The Scrapper knows what's up because that's also Reflect. Let's go. Typically you pre-stack here, just because pre-stacking helps a lot, obviously. But I'm a Chronomancer, my pre-stack is not that important because I can't pre-stack Alacrity anyway that much. And it's fine either way, I would say. So there we go. Someone cheat just to make sure that the bomb does not pop us, but most of the time it's actually fine. Alright, that's why you should be really careful with the aftercast. Now I actually missed my Moa because of that. That's annoying, but it's fine. We will still get the CC here, I guess. Nice. Try to provide stability here so that people can just face tank this attack. So here I'm typically doing the ball, but most of the time it's over before anything happens. So that's good. Again, CC all the clones. I try to focus on the middle ones because they have the white balls attack, which can be a little bit annoying to deal with. Okay, I did not make it in time, but it's fine. There we go. Again, providing stability for my party here. Doing, just in case, doing the ball, but it's fine. You can see the DPS is really good from this party, so nothing too crazy, just some classical rotations as a healer, and try to make sure that they have stability and reflects in the correct time. And also bringing more here is also almost recommended, because if you don't, typically, let's do the GG. Because if you don't, you might not have enough CC to just instantly break the bar. I just want to make sure that this happens all the time. And let's do the precast. It's a little bit annoying that I don't have quickness, but it's fine. There we go. And it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I would say Chronomancer has more stability than Firebrand if you set up for it. So I have this to reset the F4, which also gives stability. So I can have more stability as a Firebrand, but a Firebrand can have it a bit more baked into the kit. So Firebrand doesn't have to, for example, has stability in the F3 tome. That can be enough to deal with a lot of mechanics. So you don't have to switch your utility skills. I have it only with the F4, which can be used for other stuff as well. So typically you have to be a bit more careful when it comes to Chronomancer stability when you don't use this. But you can also use the mantra. So Chronomancer is probably nowadays even better than Firebrand when it comes to pure stability uptime. But typically it's not really required to have 100% stability. So I just go for it now because I know I can actually help my group by providing stability in this fight all the time. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you watch my gameplay, you don't even have to see me play Healing Firebrand, if you just watch my Chronomancer gameplay Filthy Casual, you should actually learn a lot by doing that, because you then know, for example, I take Reflect here, I take this attack, I take whatever, to make it, if you do the same on a Healing Firebrand build, you will have the same result. It does not matter which color the attack has. Yeah? So just that you know. And any build suggestions for ranged DPS Elementalist for PvE? I would say you can still play some kind of Scepter variant for Tempest. Scepter Tempest is still decent. It's not as good as it was before the patch, of course, but it's still very, very good as a DPS build. It's a very safe option. Other than that, sadly, you can play Spear, but Spear is very hard. It's not very hard, but it's decently hard, and it's not, after the nerfs, not that crazy strong anymore as it was before. Before, as it was at a 47k DPS, which is obviously insane. Now they nerfed it, and it's way lower, which is obviously not a big deal because it was just too much, but it's still very hard, or quite hard. So I would not recommend that. Typically, Scepter Elementalist is better. Scepter Tempest for that matter. Yeah. Sword Dagger is melee. I want something range. Pistol Warhorn is not playable, I would say. Pistol Warhorn is some kind of Bondi build. You can play it, but I think it's not that good. I would rather go for some kind of Scepter variant. Yeah. You should just check the Snowcross website. They updated it today, as far as I know. So just check it out. Which kind of build they actually recommend right now, I don't know. But all of them are somewhat not hard, but harder than the previous Scepter build for sure. That's the only thing. Okay. Again, I bring probably stability. You can also bring a lot of boon removal. That's one thing that Firebrand lacks a bit. So if you need boon removal, Chronomancer is typically better. Firebrand can boon remove with Sigil of Absorption, which is a little bit annoying. You have to swap your Sigil on your weapon, and you then need to CC to boon remove. Can be a bit annoying. So Chronomancer is better in this regard. But typically, you don't need to do that because your party should also have other people in there that might have boon removal. So you don't have to do all this stuff all the time as a support. Okay. There we go, full reset. Go for some nice boons again, nothing crazy. Just all the boons. You see 23 stacks of stability. Seems good. Can give another block here. Can also insta CC if I wanted to. Okay, again. Then this also gives a block to my allies, so even if they don't dodge the attack, they should at least not get that much damage, which is really helpful. So if you know that those small intricacies, they can help a lot to help your team succeed and just push out damage all the time, because that's the name of the game in Fractals. Just if your DPS players can upkeep DPS 100% of the time, everyone is happy, and we get to do the fast here, which is obviously what we want. Getting things done faster. And of course, it's also safer if you know what you're doing as a healer. You can also just make sure that no one fucks up anything. Yeah. There we go, easy clear. So here I now swap to focus. For the pull, typically. Typically I've swapped to focus before the next part of the orbs, just to make sure. We don't have anyone that can pull very easily, so if you have a Mesmer that does it, it's very good. If you don't, not that nice. So just pull this guys, and the next one I can pull with my focus. And funny thing is, if you have enough healing power and stuff, you can actually heal even though with the agony healing decrease here. So let me swap to focus for a second. No, this one, not the one. This one. And there we go. Just make sure that my allies also have the buffs here, because I'm on the wrong set, obviously. Just going out of combat, renewing my heal food, and there I actually had the heal set. I'm just too stupid to see it. I already have it set up, just in a different build template. That's fine. Okay. For this altar. Like I said, on a healer, this is not a big deal. You can just heal. And barrier application is also helping, of course. Don't go invulnerability. Typically that's not good, because you can't cap them. So I want to cap here, but I have to kill this guy first, but I'm on a healer, so I can't do it. Thanks, someone is helping me from down. There we go, finally. Now you can GG, just because we have a fast guy, hopefully, running ahead. For the next fight, we have some split phases. Typically, the two supports, so the healer and the offensive support, go to the bottom side. All the DPS spread across north, west, and east. Now we just wait until all people GG and we respawn to skip the pre-event. Well, not skip, but ignore the pre-event and instantly go to the boss fight. Heal Firebrand is easy for who memorizes which tome does what. Heal Chrono is better and easier. I wouldn't say it's better in general. I think Heal Firebrand has its situations where it's also very strong. Because it, for example, is a heavy armor class, so it is a little bit just baseline tankier to play, which can help a lot if you are a new player and you need to tank or something. But I agree. I think getting into Chronomancer is probably easier and you will have a higher result because of that. But that's just, you know, just my opinion. And I think the skill ceiling on Chronomancer is also higher, so that means you can start out on a low, easy build and you can still stay with this build, but you have a way better option when you get to the more skilled people and the more skilled content. So I think this is a really big plus of this build. Yeah, just, I don't know. Nothing to say about this boss, just DPS it down, go to the split phases, kill the enemies here. CC as fast as we can, just to get our power builds, the nice exposed debuff here. And there we go. Another clean kill. Typically you let one person run ahead to get the next GG, full reset, and spawn instant in front of this area here. And now we can get the next thing going. And there we go. Last boss of this fractal. It's one of my favorite bosses actually. I think it's very well designed. It's very interesting, very cool. And also, I would say one of the best designed bosses, because a power build and a condi build might be the viable here, which is obviously not often the case, just because of the phasing and stuff. So I can see if I heal my people through it, typically you don't even need to dodge anything, you just do a DPS rotation fully, you know, they completely ignore anything that the boss throws at them. And if I can heal them and give them barrier and give them protection and give them barrier, it's, well, not barrier, give them H's, it's really, really good. So that's what you should aim for as a support in fractals, to make it so that your other allies, so all other allies, actually also the offensive support, don't have to dodge anything. They just stand there and do the DPS rotation as on a golem. That's what you should aim for. Thanks, Savas, for the follow. Really appreciate it. So that's the interesting part that you have to understand. If you are playing a support, a healer in Fractals, you should aim for providing enough boons, enough stability, enough just healing that your allies don't have to do anything other than DPS. It sounds stupid, but if you can't do that, typically you will succeed and you will get the group to do way more damage than if you would go for something that is a little bit more aggressive but will not help your allies that much. So just keep that in mind, especially in packs. You see how well this group does in comparison to the other one that you joined before? Just because these people know how to deal damage and also have not trust issues, and they can actually completely ignore all the mechanics just because I actually heal them and give them stability and stuff. So that helps a lot. So it's really important that you understand that as a viewer, that support in Guild Wars 2 is the most broken shit that exists in the game. All the other classes, even if they reach 47k DPS, a support is way more broken. It's just the case. Look at how many boons I give them, how much heal I give them, how much stability I can give them. They don't have to do anything, you know, they can ignore every single thing the boss throws at them just because I have my broken build that is currently going. And I don't know. Just wanted to put that out there. It's really, really good. And that's not only for Heal Chronomancer, that's for all the meta healers. So Firebrand, Druid, Heal Catalyst, Heal Scourge. Of course, Heal Firebrand and Heal Chrono are way better in Fractals just because of the flexibility and the stability in Condy Glances and agents and stuff. But in raids, Heal Elect Scourge or Heal Elect Druid, those are very valid as well. So just that you know this. Okay, what do we have next? Urban Battleground. So there we can go for some mass invisibility. We have a scrapper, so typically that's not a problem. But just to skip the first part, you can also use some stealth. That's also another thing that Heal Firebrand doesn't have. So if you know all your skills, what they do, typically Chronomancer is a little bit better than Heal Firebrand. Just because of that. And I give some nice stability. Not stability. Let me run. Nice. And there we go. Can just skip the mobs without pulling them because we don't have to kill them. Give them some nice barrier. Get some more healing going just to make sure that my allies don't die here. They have agony, that's a little bit annoying. I can't help them then. Well, not too much actually. There we go, got the kill. Another stealth. Oh, unlucky. So if someone wants to do the jump, we can actually do a jumping puzzle here over the thing to make sure that we can actually skip all the things, the mobs here, but for this one we don't actually have to do it. It's the fastest way actually, so that's good. There we go. Now we just go to the... It's really easy, so if your party doesn't actually know what they need to do, you can skip so much in Fractals. That's really, really crazy. With stability to my allies, help them because they deal actually quite a lot of damage, these mobs. Stability helps a lot here, but also a lot of healing, of course, as always. There we go, I can finally swap my elite back to more CC. There we go, almost in the last fractal already. Nothing too much to say about fractals, really fun. Especially now with the Fractal Rush, highly recommend to do them. It's really easy to get some more gold out of it. And of course, it's also fun. I think it's the best 5-player content we have. Pretty much in Guild Wars 2, so they are really rewarding. I think if you know what you're doing, you can get 40 to 50 gold an hour each day. Really, really good. So, highly recommend you to get into Fractals even as a new player. Start out with the lower levels. Go to the higher levels and maybe even Fractal CMs as I'm doing. Really, really rewarding. So don't underestimate how much gold you can get over the course of a year just by doing 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours of fractals each day. It's really, really good. And don't forget, it's really fun. I still do them. I don't need gold anymore. I have almost every legendary in the game. I still do them for gold or for my fun, my enjoyment of the game, just because I like them. Yeah. So just wanted to put that out there. Not about boasting, just about that I still do them, even though I don't need to actually. But of course, if you don't like it, that doesn't matter too much, because there are so many other gold farms. You can just go for one of my other top 10 gold guides that I put out just a while back, and you will still have an amazing amount of... Oh, this guy almost died. Amount of ways to get gold, so don't worry about that. But I'm just putting it out there. Fractals are really fun in my opinion, so try them out if you haven't already. Okay, last boss incoming. Try to insta-CC it. There we go, we got the CC. Just because my party is obviously really, really power favored, so they want to have as much of the exposed debuff uptime in the beginning as they can, because there's the burst the highest. And other than that, again, try to make it so that your party doesn't have to dodge anything. Is world versus world good for gold? I would say it is surprisingly decent. It is not my top 10 recommendations. So if you really want to get high amount of gold, I would not say world versus world is the way to go. But if you enjoy world versus world, you can still get around 10 to 15 gold per hour. Yeah? Which is obviously not close to 40 gold with fractals, but it's still very good for that you enjoy the content. So if you play world versus world 7 hours a week, you get still, let's say 70 gold per week. If you play, for example, a farm that is very high, let's say 30 gold per hour, but you can't stand it for longer than 1 hour per week, then in the end you will have less gold than if you just played world versus world. That's what I'm saying. So always go for the one that you actually enjoy. So world versus world is, in my opinion, a very, very decent way to get gold, just because it's passively, you can enjoy what you want in world versus world and you will still get that amount of gold. Of course, it's better if you have big defense events going, if you have big kills all the time, but it's not necessary. So here I'm just stealthing with my consumables to go through the enemies here. It's a little bit of an advanced tactic, but does not matter too much. So as soon as everyone is through, I can go back down and hit them. But like I said, Guild Wars 2 is balanced in a way that almost every content that is somewhat frequently done, like fractals, like world versus world, like PvP, even meta events and stuff, they are balanced around 20 gold per hour or something. So it's still a very interesting concept. You can just play whatever you like and you will probably get gold with it. It might take a little bit longer than others, but in the end you should have fun. That's the most important thing about games. So if you can have fun while getting some gold, perfect. Just that you know that. Welcome, Nay, welcome. If you have any questions as a new player, please let me know. I can answer them, hopefully. So, try my best. Can't decide between maining Untamed or Word. The 2 elite specs I like the most, but I want to get good on one of them to focus on all types of content. I think they're both very, very solid picks. So, I would say if you want to go into competitive modes, Untamed is probably the better option there, just because Virtuoso is a little bit lackluster when it comes to... No, it's not true. I think both of them are very, very solid. I don't know. Just play what you think is the best for you, for your playstyle. And in the end, don't worry. If you are a veteran like me, at some point you will play multiple classes as well. So it's not only about saying, okay, I have to pick this class now and get good at it. You can play multiple classes and be good at it. Don't worry. So choose the one that you desire the most. Don't listen to anyone that says this one is meta, pick this one. All of them are playable, definitely. And Untamed and Virtuoso are actually really, really good right now. I want a class that can comfortably do most content while still being as effective and fun. Okay. That's interesting. So you want a class that can do almost any content in the game and still is fun. I mean, fun is very subjective. It's really hard to judge, yeah. And that's why I would say maybe just check out my class guide. You can just check. Wait a second. I can send you the link. I have a really, let's say, a high effort video about all the classes in Guild Wars 2. I can send you the link. Give me a second. Here it is. This is the link. Be sure to check it out, where I really, let's say, put very concise clips of me playing the class, showcasing and telling you the strength of the class and stuff in a quite short video about all the elite specs, all the classes this Guild Wars 2 has to deliver. So can provide to you. So be sure to check it out. It's really, really good. And how annoying is pet management in Guild Wars 2? Is pet, for example, instant dead during Zerg fights in World vs. World? Yes. In Zerg fights, pets are dead. That's just, you have to accept it. So in World vs. World, if you like to play Zerg, that's definitely, you should not play Untamed. Virtuoso is way better. They buffed Untamed or pets in general because the pet swap is now lower, but still it's not as good as, for example, a Vert when it comes to DPS. So pet management, that's why I don't play Engineer or Ranger all the time, because I think the pet management in Guild Wars 2 is quite annoying. For me, I'd like to have my own agency all the time. I don't want to really be dependent on my pet to be at the right spot. I don't like that. You can control it to some extent, but not as good as I think you should. So that's why I would say if you don't enjoy controlling or trying to control AI, I would go for Vert. That's definitely a better choice. Yeah, I think Vert is a very good pick, especially because Vert, typically projectile-based classes are bad in World vs. World, because if someone puts up a reflect, you can't really get through the reflect because your projectiles will get reflected. But Vert has the very big advantage that the projectiles, most of them with the trait, actually get unblockable. So that means that you actually get to ignore reflects as well, which is obviously a big benefit when it comes to what you can do as a DPS build. So Vert is a really, really good pick in World vs. World right now. Oh, no one is up there. I guess that's an interesting tactic. Wow. Thanks for the follow and the Prime subs. Thanks a lot, Bladen. Thanks, really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to help. So don't worry. But I always, of course, I'm really happy if you want to support me. Thanks a lot. And I think Vert is also a very good roamer and can also be played, of course, to a very, very high level in PvE as well. So I think it's a very good pick right now if you want to get into the game. So there we go, really easy. Thanks for the group. Not a big deal. Fractals, really fun. Highly recommend. And there we go. I think World vs. World is a game mode that sadly not every class can be played in just because of the Zerg play. So if you look at 50 versus 50 players, typically classes that have some kind of AI in it, like Mech, like Ranger, like even Chronoman or Mesmer in general, typically you focus on shatters then, for example, on Mesmer. You don't focus on your phantasms, you don't focus on your clones at all because they instantly die. So that's why I think it's really important to understand if you want to play a lot of those big open world fights in World vs. World, you should pick a class that is able to do something other than being really reliant on something that is instantly dead there. So that's why I would highly recommend to do your research first, maybe watch my video about the classes to see what classes actually played in World vs. World at all. Chrono is too complicated for me with Continuum Split, and Mirage seems also quite hard with the clones to have all them Yeah, I think Chrono and Mirage are somewhat complicated, but I think it fits the Mesmer design. I think Mesmer is something that is designed in a way that is a little bit more complicated than a lot of other classes. So it fits, but I can totally understand if you say that's not for me. And that's why I would also highly recommend you to play Word, because Word is an easy Mesmer spec, and if you enjoy it and you want to play something more complex, you can easily swap, you know, just by the click of one button. For example, like me, now I'm Word, and if I want to play that, I have the gear set, I have the traits and stuff. And if you want to play something more challenging, maybe more supportive, you swap to Chronomancer. Just with a little bit of effort, you have 2 gear sets, you have a little bit of more hero points laying around, you can play support, and then you are fine. So I think this is really easy. So if you are in general interested in Mesmer, then you start with Word. I would highly recommend to start with Word because it's the easiest one. And then when you feel like, oh, maybe I want to try something new, you can easily swap without swapping your character. You can easily swap to another Mesmer Elite spec. And all of them are really good right now. So don't worry. There's always something really good. So now I will just quickly do my rings. Always attune your rings before you salvage them. On average, that will give you more gold back. Just a small tip. Don't infuse them. Infusing is not worth it. Especially as a new player. And there we go. So this costed me around, I don't know, maybe 3 gold. I got 9 gold back, so I made way more gold back. Really, really good. Yeah, I think Mesmer is in a very good spot right now. Yeah, and I think with that, I will end my stream for the day. Thanks a lot for all the follows and subs. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we have a raid training, so be sure to don't miss that if you are interested in that. Thanks all for watching. Be sure to check out my YouTube if you want to see more content from myself. So thanks a lot, and I hope to see you around. Have a good night.